Welcome to this TimeZest training. Today we're going to discuss how to use the TimeZest pod inside of a ConnectWise managed service ticket. Here you can see we have a new ticket that has come in from our contact Erica Forrest. It is in the status of new still, and we have our pod here on the right hand side. It is very easy to send an invitation to your client by selecting the resource and the type of appointment that you are looking at scheduling. Once we select these two options, we can then send the invitation by choosing schedule. There is additional functionality available to us. If you choose show additional options, several features then populate. By using our date limits, you can choose to show availability after a certain date or between specific dates. So let's say I'm waiting on hardware to come in on the 13th. So I don't want this client to be able to schedule until after the 15th. This would then only show availability after that date. Or you can select a range, so the 15th through the 21st. You can also use the time limits to schedule this during the desired time of day. So let's say you want to do this between 8 and 10 a.m. You can then put in the time limits and it will only show availability between those hours. This can also be leveraged to schedule after hours appointments. So if I put 6 to 9 p.m., it will override my business hours and allow the client to schedule during that range. We also have the option to change the duration of the appointment on the fly. So this 30-minute phone call, if it was going to be 45 minutes, I would just enter the new time here and all the information would be updated. We also have the option to schedule with a different contact. By default, TimeZest will send the invitations to the primary contact on the ticket. In this case, it's Erica. But if Erica has told us that this meeting needs to be scheduled with a different member in her company, we can then select a different resource to send it to. If you don't initially see it here, you can type in the name as well and it will populate it. We can turn these off and just use the simple scheduling of a 30-minute phone call. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, we can see here that we have updated the pod with an audit trail of what is going on with the invitation. It shows the resource, the appointment type, the client name, and what the status is of that appointment. If we refresh our ticket, we can see that it will update the status to TimeZest schedule sent, or whatever status your administrator has set up. We also have an audit trail within the internal notes saying that Erica has been asked to schedule an appointment. When we look at Erica's inbox, she's received an invitation from TimeZest to schedule an appointment. By selecting choose a time, a calendar populates where she can then choose a date and time that works for her needs. If it has been set up by your administrator, a client can then control rescheduling or canceling an appointment. Erica has just received the confirmation email for her appointment that has been scheduled, and she also has the reschedule or cancel functionality. Let's go back to our ticket. If we refresh, we can see the phone number that was provided is now available. We also can see that the status has been updated to TimeZest scheduled. Down here, Guy Rogers has now been scheduled for the appointment that was selected, and the audit trail has also been updated with the information regarding this appointment. If we go to Guy Rogers' calendar, we can then see that the appointment has been scheduled. This is the basics of scheduling with TimeZest inside of your managed service ticket. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to us at help@timezest.com.